This is Dakota News Now, your first alert station.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Sam Wright.
And I'm Cordell Wright. A murder that shook the Watertown community is finally having its day in court. Testimony involving the 2020 killing of Kendra Owen began today, with the South Dakota Attorney General leading the prosecution.
The trial is expected to include many details of the crime, and we do want to warn you that they are disturbing details. Cooper Seamer with our top story at 6 o'clock.
It's been almost 3.5 years since Kendra Owen was found dead on the 300 block of North Broadway in Watertown. When found on September 2nd, 2020, Owen's body was already decomposing and she'd been decapitated. Now in February of 2024, Jeremiah Peacemaker is on trial for her death, facing a charge of first-degree murder.
This morning, the jury heard opening statements from both myself and the defense. Then the jury began hearing lay witness testimony as well as the initial law enforcement officers that were at the scene when first called.
South Dakota Attorney General Marty Jackley is personally trying the case on behalf of the state. In his opening statement Monday, Jackley said forensic evidence and testimony puts Peacemaker as the last person to see Owen alive. The defense opened their case by questioning the investigation of evidence collected at the scene and say a lack of follow-up by investigators still leaves question as to who saw Kendra that night. 4 witnesses opened Monday's testimony: Owen's grandmother, the social worker who found Kendra's body, the first Watertown police officer on the scene, and a former South Dakota DCI agent involved in the investigation. Much of the testimony focused around a tube of toothpaste found in the bathroom of the apartment covered in Owen's blood, but what the state argues is also a fingerprint belonging to Peacemaker. The state also argues a video outside of a Watertown bar that night shows Owen and Peacemaker going back to her apartment. The defense focused its discussion on how that social worker got into Owen's apartment, trying 4 times over 2 days to contact her before testifying that the door was unlocked on the 4th try and an AC unit that had been running was shut off. Their argument being that Peacemaker couldn't have been the last person to see Owen if things at her apartment had been changed. Jackley says while this will be a grueling one for people to sit through and listen to the details of, he says it's important so that Owen's family will have justice.
There'll be videos shown, as I indicated in opening statement here this afternoon, which is a greater appreciation from me and I think all the lawyers, the difficult job of a jury, especially in a first-degree murder case of this nature.
With the amount of evidence and witnesses that are expected to testify, Jackley says he estimates that this trial could take a couple weeks before a verdict is reached. In Watertown, Cooper Seamer, Dakota News Now.